flock of 4 birds. But I like to break this down flock by flock. So flock number 1. And stop me at any time if this doesn't make sense. Please, at any time. It's going to be very repetitive because I want to revisit the idea of a distribution of probabilities. But I also want to make sure we're seeing how that independence assumption is playing out while we're building. That's the new piece and the old piece. So flock number 1 means I tell Max, go in and pick 1 bird. Only 1 bird, Daddy? Yes, 1 bird. Sorry, I never sound that way, right? So we buy 1 bird. And you got to realize what being a stat guy does to you in the world. I don't view those little chicks as boys and girls anymore. I view each one as 0.9 girl and 0.1 boy. It ruins you. It ruins you. I'm buying a part of a rooster here. Next, what are we talking about? So anyway, if we only buy 1 bird, I'm obviously interested. My random variable that I'm interested in is the number of girls that I get. That's what I care about. Because I don't want roosters, right? I don't want roosters. I want hens, because I want eggs. I don't need more chickens necessarily. If I want more, I'll buy more. But I want to get them sexed. That's why last year when Lava Ridge raised chickens from eggs in their school, my wife goes, oh, Max's class hatched 4 babies. Let's just take those home for our new 4. I'm like, no. And she's like, why? And why did I say no?
Because it's closer to 50-50.
Because if they hatch on their own, they're unsexed. It's probably closer to 50-50. There's a pretty good chance they're all going to be boys compared to the chance they're all going to be boys here. So I don't want them, I want them sexed. I mean, even if it's only 90% and not 100%, that's better than 50%, which is flip a coin and decide whether it's a boy or a girl. Yeah, I don't want them unsexed. So this is what I'm interested in. How many girls am I getting? So let's build the t-table distribution. Let's build the probability distribution. If I only buy 1 bird, how many girls could I get? Go ahead. If I only buy 1 bird, how many girls could I have in that box? Just 1. But it could be 1, but it could also be what? It could be 0, right? It might be a rooster. Right? The sexing is only 90% accurate. And you chuckled when I said that. Have you heard a different number?
No.
Oh, it's 90%?
No, I've just had experiences where they were sexed, but I got out of 10, I got, what, 4 roosters?
Can you bring that back up on Tuesday?
Okay.
That's getting ahead of us a little bit, because what I always like doing is figuring out who's got chickens in class and analyzing your flocks using that program I just gave you. And it's interesting because, that just makes me happy. Well, let's come back to that, that's okay, Gail. Okay. And it pisses you off, right? Because you want hens.
Yeah.
And you get the roosters, then you want to complain. You look at the math, you're like, I guess I can't complain. Because the math bears out that, yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. That's good. I love doing that. We'll come back to that. So we could either have 0 or 1 girl in the box, yes? The sexing is not 100% likely. What's the chance? Now we're assuming we're buying the bird from a sexed population. What's the chance that it's a rooster? 0.1, you got it, Hunter. It's 0.1. 0.9, therefore, that it's a girl. Now you knew these numbers because they were given to you by the guy at the desk. You also know they fit the distribution. Anna, you knew this was 0.1. How come? Yep, you got it, my friend. Because one thing you guys remember from last week is that whatever this column is has to sum to 100%. So you know if that's 0.9, whatever's left has to be the 10% to get to 100%. Remind me to tell you how that almost got me into a fist fight with a former student. Just that idea right there. Well, we'll come back. It's amazing what upsets people sometimes. It blows me away sometimes. Chickens. It was an email fist. It was one of those email talk guys, fist fights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, yeah, I can't believe you did. And I'm like, well, here's why I didn't. And then I never heard from him again.
I was like, wow, that guy got like...
It was like super defensive. I've had a couple things. One was in class with a midwife. We'll come back to that one later too. But yeah, there's been some times when I'm like, dude, this is numbers. I don't want to put that down. You know, so we'll come back to we'll come back. So again, I want girls. And for a rancher, for example, or somebody that's keeping a lot of chickens, what you're interested in is the average number of girls you're getting. I mean, that's what you really care about. I mean, any one particular bird is only 90% likely, but how does that play out for the entire flock? So let's do the average number of girls in the flock. Hi! Seriously, we'll get you out of here early, don't worry. We'll get you out of here early.
They opened the freaking hill as soon as we started walking.
Sorry. Yeah, it was close.
Sorry.
It's not your fault.
It's not,
Well, we
but
made it.
when I hear the first word is seriously, it makes my heart hurt. My heart hurt a little bit. I'm sorry.
Well, it's
We'll get you out early, I promise. We'll get you out early. I
I was
will.
afraid nobody was here.
We don't mind.
Oh no! The freak rule will be here. You brought a camera, that's great. You brought an SLR, that makes me happy.
Good.
Alright. So, we can calculate an average of a distribution, can't we? Remember how to do it? This is a test from last week. If you have a probability distribution, how do you calculate the average? It's a weighted average. How do you do it?
That times that.
Yes, sir! You do data times probability plus data times probability and you add them all up. That's it. That's your average. So you do data, 0, times the probability of that data, 10%, that's just 0. So that's not contributing any girlness to the average number of girls, which hopefully makes sense. They're boys. It's not contributing any girlness. Plus, 1 girl times 90%, that works out being 9/10 of a girl per flock. Flock doesn't have an R in it. This is why I'm ruined as a statistician. Because I look at a chick, and I realize that every time I buy one girl, I'm getting 1 bird, I'm getting 90% girl. I mean, it's ruined. I do everything in terms of averages because of that. Everything's viewed in terms of averages. I guess it's a disease. Okay, fair enough? Now the idea is, who buys birds 1 bird at a time? Nobody. Right? Exactly. Gail's like, not me, I buy 10 at a time. Good for you, but let's not jump to 10 and you'll see why momentarily.
First time.
Say that again, Tom.
First time chicken buyers.
First time chicken buyers buy 1 bird at a time? Maybe.
They don't know that it's gonna be a rooster, it's gonna die.
Oh, or that you got, see, I think we got lucky. Our first batch of girls did not die. They had very low mortality, which I think was rare. I think having girls die this time around, we were catching up to the average, so to speak. So, let's be a second time chicken buyer.